not comply. Docking request denied. Docking request granted.
on landing pad 1-6. You are clear for automated approach, Commander.
Scan detected. Landing gear deployed.
Touchdown confirmed. Commence system shutdown. Incoming message.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity. Landing gear
Ship
retracted.
released. Watch for oncoming traffic when passing through the airlock.
This is a flight regulations reminder. Please do not obstruct the access.
Frameshift drive charging.
Speed restrictions are now lifted. Flight control signing off.
3, 2, fuel scoping. Fuel scope disengaged. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, fuel scoping. Fuel scope disengaged.
Dude, I'm so excited. Did we wipe? No, we haven't done this yet. We just got it. Yeah, go ahead and just wipe and just run back. Okay, guys, listen up real quick, guys.
Fuels cooking. Fuel scoop disengaged.
Where it was claimed that Batfleck is getting his own HBO Max original series that follows directly from where the Snyder Cut leaves off.
I always told myself it's either this or I don't want to do anything else.
Right.
It's either this or I'm done. And that drove me to always excel. So like, that's a brilliant point you're bringing up. Yeah, it's like De Niro says in Heat to Al Pacino. He's like, I don't want to do anything else. I rob banks. That's all I want to do. He's like, well, I chase guys like you. That's all I want to do. Okay.
Yeah.
and that's it. End of conversation.
Yeah.
There's nothing else.
Yeah.
So,
His work can be found in some of the biggest blockbuster movies, such as Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, Spider-Man Homecoming, to name a few. He's an illustrator, concept artist, known for working in the film industry, as well as Art Directors Guild member. Please welcome Alexander Madrijev. In this episode, we take a closer look at his artistic career, where he finds his influences for his iconic keyframe art, as well as some of the pitfalls of artistic growth that many of us can relate to. Hope you can enjoy this one. Let's go.
LAC Hotel
I need
Alpha
to be
Romeo.
very
Greetings,
careful
Commander.
and have
Please approach the
my-
station at a safe speed
my
and be mindful of other pilots in the area.
Style of the way you work, you know. Well, maybe before we roll into that, like, is there anything that we could plug in from the start? You know, like anything going on your end that you
yeah,
want to talk about?
yeah, actually, recently, Jen, she is my fiance. Her and I, we started up back doing these YouTube video vlogs, motivational videos for artists that are starting up, and also for anything, for like a better state of mind. So we just started producing this, and little by little we'll be putting it up every once a week. I'm really excited about it. I've always wanted to be doing shooting and editing, putting small things together.
Provision authorized. Prep for arrival on landing pad 4-2.
I know this is
Automated docking approved.
Landing gear deployed. Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Landing coupler disengaged. You are clear to leave.
Frameshift drive charging.
You have left the no-fire zone. Flight control.
3, 2, 1. Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, Orbital flight engaged. Docking request denied.
Lakon Hotel Alpha Romeo. Ground crew are prepped for your arrival. Welcome, Commander.
There is a KV2 pushing directly in front of me, and I don't want anything to do with this.
It has a teddy bear in its eyes.
He has a friend behind him too.
Taking out the friend.
KV1, Churchill,
Oh, no.
Hambone?
rushing.
Don't do anything.
That
Don't do anything.
KV2's low. What's happening to Red?
Yep. Oh my gosh.
No, they are rushing.
We guys want to make sure we're being rushed by the same thing. Oh my goodness, it's a convoy.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh,
Dropping already close. We are in trouble.
that's not a...
Gunners out on KV2.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'm going for it.
They're looking at
I'm
me.
taking a shot at KV2.
Taking out horizontal.
I didn't do anything.
German behind them.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so...
Behind us.
Thank you. KV1's pushing, KV1's pushing.
Behind.
Behind.
He's got behind.
Clear to land on pad
Sorry,
09.
everybody's behind us.
Everybody's behind us?
System is now in
We're good.
progress.
We're
I'm being
good.
pushed front too, so...
Front. Watch front. You're getting
I'm
back.
getting shot.
Okay.
on the
Red?
right side. I'm dead.
What's happened?
There's something on the right. The Churchill's on the right.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
They've outflanked us.
Oh yeah, I've noticed this. Well, okay, hi. I'm
Drop.
gonna have to kill you. Okay, you're dead. Where's the Churchill?
Right.
Oh, hi, close right. Oh, of course he took
back.
the breach. Of course he took the breach.
Of course.
Oh gosh, now he took more things.
I'm getting hit with 30.
I'm not
What's up?
sure what I'm supposed to do here.
Landing gear deployed.
Get stuck in the
I'm just
mud.
trying to keep my armor towards him.
Is he hurting
He's
you?
got me in the corner. I'm pushing back, but the KV2, the KV2, the
KV2,
oh,
no.
this is inappropriate, inappropriate. I like to. I'm desperate here. Things did not go well in the corner.
Oh, it's a KV1. I'm alive though.
What's left? What's left?
What?
KV2. Okay. I got the barrel. I got the KV2 barrel.
Oh, I see it. Didn't do anything, but I see it.
There's a T-34 down the street, trying to street past it.
I need a good shot here.
Drive.
I'm just slapping him. I'll go for the T-34. Lobbing? You know what? It's not my day.
That's alright. Maybe tomorrow is your day.
I'll just, now people are dying because of my failures as a tanker. The
It's
KV2 I
alright.
still see.
Well, I only got a track.
I shot his barrel.
Oh no. Everybody's dying.
I broke the KV2's barrel. There's another tank by the KV2.
That's T-34 that we're talking about.
Yeah, it's not. No, there's actually something. Well, anyway. Can you die, sir? I got him, but I died. I've got contact. What's that building?
Can you mark it?
I'm shooting. Yeah. Hold on. It's right there. He's dead.
Oh, I was about to say there's KB1 east somewhere.
They're in front of us.
I see it right there. It's down. Or you got something else?
Another one to the left side.
I do not have an angle, sir.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I can't even see him. Oh, I see him. I shot over him.
Looking for targets.
Right, he's pushing.
I see one.
He's marked now. He's marked now.
I see that one actually, Red. I'm gonna go for that one. Oh, you got targets moving to your left side.
I know, but the front is my issue. Never mind, fix that issue.
I dropped bombs, but I don't think it'll hit.
I gotta push up. And, oh my gosh, there's more front. I'm sorry, I cannot. KV1 there.
I'm marking them.
KV1 marked.
34 there, I marked it.
There's a path on the left other side of the park.
I see you there. Oh, they're pushing me.
Oh.
They're just driving freely. Like there's okay, he's dead. And then there's more pulling up here. Like they're gonna. I'm not a fast. Oh my gosh, not that. Anything but that.
What's happening, bro?
It's not. Things are deteriorating very quickly here.
Frameshift drive charging.
Can you not look at me, please?
4.
Well, I thought you were taller in the back.
Bro, you.
1.
You know, I'm.
Oh, is that what's? Oh, there is. Oh,
I got
She's
it.
dead. Thank you. The KV1 in front of me though is being a real needy.
Shoot him in the turret.
He's tracked. I think that the I swear that turret looks like it's from the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars?
Yeah, it does look like a droid set.
Frameshift drive charging.
It actually reminds me of oh, what's that one? The fighter used by the clones. You know, it's got 2 pilots. It's got those like kind of tri-wing kind of looking things.
I don't see any tanks down there. Never mind. I opened my mouth. Now there's little. Bomb. Never mind. I got 2 kills. We'll take it.
The ARC 170.
That's the fighter you're thinking of?
I don't like the sound of that.
What's the matter, Red?
I hear bombs. I don't know where they are.
I'm sorry. You have somebody in a fighter to help you.
Only.
Ooh!
I'm looking for things on ground to strafe. I don't see them.
Oh my god, we're behind you.
Oh, again?
Yes.
Frameshift drive charging.
They don't
Okay.
stop.
Hi. What is it? Where is it?
It's high.
Direct behind.
Right
I
behind.
see it. It's not. No, it's on. It's on the other guy. It's on the 190.
Yes, it is. And if he dies, it's on you.
I will try to do my best to help.
3, 2,
Oh, there we go. Yes. Oh, he's away from me.
Yes, no, maybe.
I don't know. Can you repeat the question? You're not the boss of me now.
Oh!
That's a bomber. Oh, Red. I'm sorry.
Red.
That might be on me.
temperature
But he's
critical.
critted. Well, this nose is kind of hard to get around. Okay. I'm trying my best here. That's very. You know what? There's an easier way to do this. Where's the droid? He's actually crashing. He's. Oh, problem solved.
Take it and run.
Oh, the plane. I thought you meant your droid, and I was.
No,
very...
I have a gunner. My gun is weird. Tank just spawned, coming down the road. That's all I have for you, Red.
Okay.
I'm kind of flying low. You got a tank right here, M10. M10 there.
I'm turning.
It's at the gate. There might be something else there.
I pushed him out. He's not in the gate anymore.
That works for me.
Oh no.
What's the matter? There's another one out there. You're being flanked on your right.
I got his loader. I needed more than a loader.
You need to check your 6. He's dead, but check your 6.
Building.
Check your 6, Red. Red, there, Red, right there. I can't point. I have no bullets.
29K.
Kill it.
Oh.
Yeah, 29K's got 1 crewman down. You can finish it.
There's an aircraft.
Where?
Where is
He's
it?
the.
I see it.
Yeah, diving in on you. Your left.
I got work to do
29K
here.
front.
I gotta make.
He's right on top of you. You hear
I got
it?
this AA is really annoying me though. Things aren't looking good on board.
Look
Whoa,
at
I got
collided. Contact in front of me. BTR. Moving to the. You do not look at me. You do not look at me with those guns, sir. We have a very small amount of tickets left, guys. I'm concerned that we may not win this.
34.
Where is he? I'm trying to roll my gun tractor over there.
Nothing.
That
no,
doesn't sound
don't
good.
look at me.
Yeah, just keep fighting. Keep the good fight going.
Okay, he's dead. He's dead.
Did somebody call for a doomsday device?
I want my mom.
I don't see anything front. We might win this if they don't attack us. As soon as I said that, guy outside just died.
Don't poke your head out.
Well, if anybody killed the milk truck, it's red.
Yes, but can't the milk truck kill Red?
You had to say something, and then he died.
Milk truck.
I can't believe we won that, to be honest. Tank low ground, going for the point.
Don't. Oh, I see it fat.
I got his radiator, he's burning.
Oh god, I missed.
Oh, he's
That
going
guy was
for it.
fast.
He is fast. Got him. Nope. What?
What?
I'll try again, or somebody will get him.
I got Gunner.
He's a
What?
very survival tank down there, isn't he? And fire. There we go. We got him.
Wow.
Much professionalism.
Calliope.
Where?
Calliope somewhere. Killed the Beretta that was ahead of us.
I'm worried what's going on down there.
Let me push forward a little bit so I can see what's
Yeah, I
up
want to
here.
get behind that bunker.
Yeah, same.
We need security to our probably our up and right too.
Yes.
Yep, right there at the statue.
See something through the bunker.
Nice shot. I'm looking low left for you.
At 285, I can see it through the bunker.
Contact close. Contact close.
They'll
Right
see
there.
It. I see. Okay, I see the mark.
Something was moving in there.
There's a KV-1 at the bunker hill.
At the bunker hill.
It's dead.
Worry?
Tank pushing low. We just fired. I'm
Multiple.
pushing him. Come on, give me a shot. Two tanks.
Two of 'em.
T-34 close. T-34 close.
I can't see.
He's aiming.
Hello.
He took my gunner. I'll be down for a minute. There's also an SU-85 behind him. Be careful. Don't push up too hard.
Don't shoot me.
Alright, back in this.
You got my breach. Ow, I got shot twice.
I'm trying to help you. He's down.
I need repairing.
There's more pushing.
I need cover.
Dig in and hold hands or something.
You think?
Maybe hug this out. I'm not sure. I'm dropping Artie right in front of us.
Turn the lights down low.
I'm beginning my Artie. Turn the lights down low.
Get
Okay,
yourself
I'm
some
gonna be
private-
repaired. I'm gonna help you.
I need 27 seconds. Yeah.
Cut that down. Tanks
There you
low
go.
left in front of us.
I saw that.
But we also got higher. I'm also worried they're gonna come down that street to our hard right. So
There's maybe
I hear rockets going off over there. That's terrifying.
It is very terrifying.
Where'd that S2 go? Is he still alive?
I think he might be on the opposite side of the bunker.
I'm gonna stick out, see if I can get some shots in or get a shot.
Oh my gosh!
What?
They're Sweden.
Where? What? I'm looking.
It's a PBKV2.
I don't see anything. Oh yeah.
Lies.
Firing. He's down. Okay. Collect our
Okay.
pants, and we'll keep going.
Okay. Let me take a peek.
Target pushing front, right there.
I don't
Sherman,
see that.
maybe.
That's all. Oh.
If he pushes, I can do it. I need him to push around.
I'm gonna look ahead then to the left. Hello, don't shoot me if you see me.
I'm not seeing anything else.
I think we're clear.
Low left, mark.
Mark? I don't
see him. Yeah, I saw the mark, but I don't see him. They're right on the right side of that statue. Like right there is gonna be the point of win or fail here.
I have already actually drop it on him. Actually,
Another
I think
mark
it died.
low left. I can't see
Whoa,
it
whoa,
though.
push it
Again.
out. KV1.
I don't see it. I see it.
Backed up.
No damage.
Dropping already on it.
Do we want to push low and get around, or?
Yeah, we're stick with
Low is
I'll
clear
cover
right
you.
now.
Stepway, if you can flank, go for it. We'll try to cover you best we can.
Okay. There's one. I've got one right in front of me behind
yeah, I
this
see that mark.
triangle bunker. if you
I
guys
never
can
saw
help
him.
me.
Yeah, I didn't see him either.
Did
Never
nothing.
mind, got it.
Nice job.
Something down to the left?
Something is rushing the cap right now, though.
Something's behind that
There-
rock right there, sick boy.
SAV.
Okay.
He's gonna be upside the cap.
Good luck.
Right
No,
back.
hand bone front. Hand bone front. The KV-1s and stuff just pushed around. Nobody was looking.
I got him.
Thank you. I fired anyway.
It's alright.
It scared me.
I don't want that SAV to
Sick
get
boy,
the
we're
cap.
rooting you on. Good job. Get in there. Get him, stick
Go
boy.
Get him. Go get him.
RKO.
Go,
Finish
stick boy,
him.
Go. Oh, RKO.
Close right. Friendly is died. Behind the church.
Yeah.
Mark is over there. That heading.
Looking at him. Trying to see what it is.
Big target pushing front. Hambone over here.
I identified.
It just took bombs, but it's still alive.
It must be something heavy.
I'm looking for you. I'm gonna hold front best I can. Stick boy, you need to get. You'll be fine.
Whoa. I see it.
It's right there. I missed. It just backed up.
That was not big.
No, there's like an M10 right there.
Looking.
Bombs just fell on it.
Oh. M4. Stick boy?
Stick boy got shot by something.
They got the cap, by the way.
We need to get moving.
We do.
But if they keep holding this high ground, we're never gonna do anything. Right there. I got it. No, I missed.
I missed.
It's gonna get stick boy. I'm sorry, stick boy. I took shot from here.
I see it.
I don't.
I saw it.
It shot me and moved.
Behind the deflate. Stick boy.
Farewell.
Oh no.
We're sorry, stick boy.
Oh.
We didn't do a good job.
I will murder you.
Thank you for killing that. Where was the thing shot me?
Oh.
It was right there.
I think so. I mean,
Well, I know so.
you know so?
You want to push low left, and I'll push high right, and we'll just try to
I'm gonna cover you then.
move. We're taking the point.
Alright, that's good.
So let's take the statue. How's that sound?
I like that idea.
Okay, yeah, they're on the other side of the statue.
Oh yeah, let's get them. Watch the right, coming down the road.
Looking right.
Past church.
We got friendlies over there.
More to the 2
They're
o'clock.
on the front. Yep. I'm assuming. Okay, T-34 in front of me.
Bombs.
He's not looking.
Bombs. That'd be always appreciated.
Waiting for a clean shot.
Beautiful.
Has been achieved.
I got someone over here. Wait, do I? I'm crazy.
Those
They're
are
trying to
friendlies.
listen to me. No, it's more to the
Contact. I see my guy. Right
Your guy?
there. Right there. Two of them.
That's
Two
your
of them.
guy. Oh no, that's not my guy.
Dropping arty.
Oh god.
They don't like me.
Don't look at me.
One's down. And boom.
Pressing
Hold
fire.
yourself together.
You push
One's
out.
down on the right.
You push it.
I see it. I got it. We traded, but I got it.
Traded.
All right, it's up to you, Hambone. Secure that point.
Finish the mission.
Lightning McQueen's gonna come in and do some work, but hold that point.
Queen.
Lightning McQueen.
Oh my god, I'm his biggest fan.
What am I watching?
Oh, I found a tank, Hambone. Right. He was gonna shoot you. Run, Hambone, run.
Run as fast as your little wheels will carry you.
Oh, there's a Cromwell. Oh my goodness.
I don't know whether it's a good
There's so
thing.
many
I can't
tanks
see
here.
What's happening or it's a bad thing.
I don't know how Hambone's alive.
Oh.
I shouldn't have said anything.
There's like 4 of them there.
I've noticed.
Don't. I got the T-34's gunner. You can kill everything else, Bo.
Copy
Oh,
that.
Bo.
Going for aggression.
Wait, but there, oh, and someone dropped more smoke. Okay, I'm following.
I'm trying to do things. It's not going the greatest.
Your stuff moving up on the left.
Got a Cromwell.
I'm following.
I'm just gonna drive circles around them. They can't expect this.
Oh my god, just got shot by.
I gotta reload.
Hi, sir.
Hey, stick boy, can you use your big gun to kill things?
Kill the T-34.
I was gonna do repairs on my
I got something for you.
my. Oh, they're already me.
Here's a present.
Stick, you good?
Oh, it didn't work.
It'll work. Watch
Yeah.
out, stick boy.
I don't roll very
my
good.
God.
Stick, that's a big bomb.
I'm good.
No, it's too dangerous.
You good? Everything fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only danger was watching Red's bomb bounce off the tank I was
I
in
saw
front
that.
of.
I could use some repairs if you don't mind.
I'm getting shot from a long distance.
Oh, you should get
I'm
some
gonna try
cover.
and handle that.
Big boy, Bo needs repairs.
Yeah, Lightning McQueen needs Mater. Can you help me, Mater?
Ow! I almost choked on water.
Mater? What's wrong, Mater?
Vader got his engine shot out.
Well, now I have to say Mater. That's not how the movie goes.
Oh gosh.
I mean, the
get-
second one it does.
There you go. Well, thanks for the spoilers.
Oh.
No, that's
We
my
got stuff to our left, Stick boy. Move this direction. We're gonna go clear a flank.
Hi. We're gonna. Can I
I'm
get a
not
new
very
crew
fast
member?
on mud.
No, you
I'm
cannot get
not a
in.
rally car.
But
Look, there's danger over here. Look, see the marks?
I really feel like we're playing out the movie, the second movie instead of the first. So.
I don't know what movie you've been watching.
Look, right here, right here.
Yes, I
See?
see him. I'm not as fast as you.
Well, get good.
Good.
Where if I can hit him from? Oh. I am.
Oh!
Oh!
I was just kind of joking about that. Kerchow. Yeah, I was just kind of. Oh well. Yeah, I'll take it.
Just take it and run.
I did all the correct mathematician things to make that happen. Hambo, you got targets low on B.
Low on B looking. I see
He's
it.
right there in front of you.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I'm not. I don't see anything. I don't see anything.
What do you don't see?
I don't see anything.
Sorry, I'm turning around you.
It's a KV-1.
I can handle that for you.
Yes, please.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. There's just something up there. I don't know if that's a friendly shooting or not.
Is that left or right?
I see the mark on the map.
That's a friendly in there, right? No?
Is there? No, it's not. It can't be. I don't see anything on the map.
I'm looking. I mean, I see the shots, but I don't see anything in. I'm gonna push this tree out of the way.
I'm gonna go in there. There's a Matilda and a Sherman.
Hey, Hambum, when you're done with that, can you come back over here?
Why?
There was a small accident in between me shooting that KV-1 and you going over there.
Well, what'd you do?
There was an accident.
Hambone, why don't you watch the 2 tanks and I'll go...
I'm not very good at watching because I can't even climb the hill.
This is going splendid.
Well...
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, get away from me!
Hambone, use your... Go like down the hill.
There's a tank.
What do you mean? Where?
Where?
I see a tank over there.
I see the mark.
Yeah, he's moving that direction.
Oh, SU-85.
Just use me as a shield if you have to.
It's looking at us.
Just use me as a meat shield.
Reloading.
This is not going well. I'm still sliding across the map, so if it makes it easier to fight when you untotem me, feel free.
It's got no barrel. We're clear for now.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, Stick. Yeah, right there. On your meat shield.
I got shot in the bum. There's 2 of them.
There's an M10. Stick boy, in front of you. Direct front. Direct. Hold front. Hold front. Hold front. Hold front. He's pushing in front of you. Right. Right there.
Wait, no, he's not. He's going away. He's going away from you guys.
Okay, he doesn't see us. Good. Our
Okay,
competence.
He's still got the SU-85.
But he hasn't killed me yet, which I'm very surprised.
It's like shot his barrel.
There you go. This is not. Come on, Stick boy. Come on. We need this Sherman back in the fight.
We need the Sherman, please.
Now, if I can just find something to tip over on. The SU-85 is staring at me.
Shoot it in the face.
He's right there. Stick boy.
Hotel Alpha Romeo.
He's using me as target practice. Better you than me.
It's dead.
Okay. I have to repair now, but you have me in kind of good spot, so if you can grab me by the tracks. There you go. No, okay. Oh gosh, Ambo just scared me. I'm being shot in the back again.
This is a weapons-free zone, Commander.
Yeah, right there, Ambo, right there.
Tolerated.
I got the barrel again.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, shoot it. It has no barrel.
I have turret traverse problems.
He has no tracks.
Swinging. Bam, your gun's in the way.
Just heading for approach to
Where's exactly right there?
Right.
Automated docking approved.
No better person to be here than you, Richard Watts. No finer human being to share this spectacular, chaotic time. Thanks for being here, brother.
Thank you, man.
My pleasure.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad I made it.
You were saying, let's do all the things. Let's do the pandemic. Let's
Yep.
do the riots.
Yep.
Everything's happening at the same time.
Yeah.
We're going to space.
We just
again.
we're in space. We made it to space. We just need like some kind of a meteor, like a meteor that's going to be here in like a month.
Right.
That we have to decide what to do.
Well, then the rioting would be out of control.
Yes.
Apparently, according to Nick Swartzen, there's some crazy UFO sightings over Idaho.
What?
I haven't heard anything about this.
Oh.
But he said there's some nutty UFO sightings over Idaho. They might be coming in to end this experiment. They might be like, you fucking crazy chimps. We tried to let you guys sort it out, but you're not sorting out shit. You guys are getting worse.
I know. As you know, I remember I was like asked a question like, what do you think humanity will have, like, on, if there was like on a gravestone, what would humanity's like say on what would it say on humanity's gravestone? And I said, well, we tried.
We gave the old college try.
Yeah, we gave it a shot. We tried. We really tried.
It's such a strange time, man, and it keeps getting stranger. It's like, did you see that in India, the monkey stole the coronavirus samples from the lab?
Yes. totally a gang of monkeys that were like, "Give me that," and they gave it to him. But the funny thing is, they didn't get into it, so they actually were able to keep the specimens intact, which I thought was kind of crazy. Yeah.
Oh, I wonder what the monkeys thought it was.
I don't know. They were probably just like, well, the way they're holding it looks important. I better take it.
Yeah, well, they do that apparently, and then you can give them food and they'll give it back to you. They'll make deals. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, they'll barter?
Yeah. They make deals, depending on the monkeys, depending on the territory. But if
Sure.
they're used to deals with people.
That's so amazing.
Yeah. Oh, they're so smart, man.
Yeah, I
they're
know.
like really dumb people.
Yeah, which is saying a lot.
It's crazy.
Like dumb people.
Because they'll fucking. Did you see the one where the monkey used the motorcycle and rode up to the baby and stole the baby?
What?
Oh my goodness!
Are you
Jamie?
serious?
Must pull this one up, bro.
Jamie's like,
it is the crazy. I think it was in. I want to say
It
Indonesia.
was also on a leash. I don't know if you noticed that.
The monkey was on a leash.
Yeah, somebody had him like by. That's why it came back so fast.
Oh. But it was
I don't really know
it
what
was
was going on in the
throttling
video.
though. It was like
I'll show you, I'll pull it up.
that's crazy.
Yeah, the monkey rode a motorcycle down this alley to these people that were sitting there, grabs a baby, and starts dragging the baby away. Watch this. Here it goes. See, here's the monkey on the motorcycle. Oh, hold on. Do it from the beginning.
I
'cause-
did.
He rode up on a
Yeah. You
motorcycle.
do it, but do it from the beginning so he can see it. Watch this. See, on the motorcycle,
Oh my
pulls up, jumps off, grabs that baby, just grabs him and pulling the baby away. I mean, first of all, how fucking strong are monkeys?
Yeah, they're really strong. I like how casual the dude is, though. The guy is like, "Hey, try not to have your monkey take my baby away."
Jamie, where do you see this leash? I don't
See
see
how
a
it's getting
leash.
dragged away?
No.
The monkey's getting dragged away. It's not walking away.
Oh,
Watch the monkey. It's getting dragged too.
Oh, it's just holding. He's holding on to the baby and he's being dragged.
Is that 100% sure?
That's crazy.
It's not walking away with the baby. It's just
Yeah,
carrying
because
it
he's
with
being
it.
yanked and he's trying to go for the kid. So the guy's trying to probably get him away from the kid. That's insane. And that's probably why the guy's so casual, too. I mean, I still don't know why he's being casual about that, but wow.
What the fuck, man?
That's so terrifying. And you know that kid's going to grow up and go like, yeah, that happened. You know, a lot of
That
stuff
makes
happened.
sense because otherwise, how the fuck would a monkey know how to ride a motorcycle? Like someone had to teach that monkey.
Definitely. There's not like monkeys going like, gosh, someday I can't wait to ride a motorcycle.
But maybe if monkeys saw like it's a small motorcycle too, right? It's like a little kid's motorcycle.
Yeah, like probably electric.
If someone saw like a monkey saw a person do something, a monkey could probably copy it. Like they
Sure.
definitely. There's a photo. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
Monkey see, monkey do.
that stuff's good, right?
Yeah, this stuff is
Killcliff?
really good. Yeah.
Killcliff's the shit.
Yeah.
25 milligrams of CBD, and it's delicious. There's
need
a
it.
photograph, a famous photograph of orangutan that is spearfishing, and it learned how to do it by watching people. Look at this monkey. Monkey on his little motorcycle.
Whoa.
He's getting after it.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Wow.
That's so rad.
It's in Asia.
Indonesia.
So it is Indonesia, where I think that's what they were saying the other one was. See if you can find the photo of the orangutan that's spearfishing. So it's hanging from a branch with a spear and sticking it into the water to stab a fish, just like it's seen humans do, because that's how the people fished there.
Right.
So the orangutan's like, I think I got that. I think I got it. They're a wild orangutan spearfishing.
That's so crazy to me.
Well, they've said that they believe that primates, particularly some monkeys and some chimps, are in the Stone Age now.
I see.
They're starting to use tools.
Yeah.
Like they're entering into the Stone Age. See, look at that photo.
Wow.
How dope is that?
Whoa.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's amazing.
Look how he's hanging with his feet in his hands
Yeah, man.
and just stabbing into the water at fish.
Planet of the Apes, man.
Fuck.
It's happening.
Well, look, we gotta think. I mean, if you believe in evolution, and I do,
I do too.
we were that.
Yeah. Yeah, we were some
Something.
form of that. Some form of that. Something happened. Something happened that
What's
caused
gonna
us to divert.
happen if they start talking to us?
I don't know, but you know, we're gonna figure out some kind of a computer that's able to like read every tiny micro movement and interpret it like, into
Right.
words.
Right.
You know, and they'll be like mood and then like
Gestures.
words
Yeah.
and like, oh, I think it's saying this, and it's just gonna get better and better and better.
Well, what was that gorilla that they taught sign language? Was it her name?
Was that Jane Goodall? Was she the one? She was the one who she used sign language with primates, I think.
Yeah, there was one that was really good at it, and this
Oh, in the
this
zoo.
gorilla. I don't know if
Was
it was in the zoo, if it was in some sort of a research center.
I see.
But there was one gorilla that could really talk up a storm, like had like pretty. Coco, that's right.
Oh yeah, Coco, that's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
had conversations with sign language.
It's so heavy.
Robin Williams
I know.
hung out with him.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, Robin Williams hung out with her?
And
Whoa.
Mr. Rogers.
Oh, Mr. Rogers.
Imagine.
Whoa, look at her. Look at her head.
I mean, imagine if. Yeah, it's so crazy.
Have you ever seen the Humanzi?
No.
Oh, I'm going to blow you away.
Uh-oh.
There was this one weird chimp that they were really confused about it. They actually thought it might be a hybrid between a human and a chimp, because I want to say this was like the 50s or the 60s. It was really freaky, and this lady kept it.
Yeah.
And I think they eventually had to bring it to some sort of a rescue center because it developed like a very unhealthy sexual relationship with this lady. Like
Oh,
it
wow.
wanted to fuck her and was
Whoa.
like real jealous of other people coming by. Which is, yeah, that's what happens.
That's
with,
crazy.
with
Of course,
male
of
chimp.
course. Yeah, territorial. Yeah.
They say that's what happened to that lady that had that big chimp in Connecticut. Remember that?
Yes.
When it bit her friend's face off?
Yes.
Her friend was cock blocking.
Whoa.
And she might actually
Heavy.
fuck that chimp because she used to sleep in the bed with it, and she gave that chimp Xanax and red wine. Which probably not.
This Humanzi thing?
Yeah.
Humanzi.
I can't find the accuracy. It says there was an unsuccessful attempt to create such a thing.
No. It is not. It's just a chimp. It's just a weird looking chimp. But
Oh, I see.
one of the weird parts about it is that it liked to walk on 2 feet. So it liked to walk on 2 feet, and it looked like a person. It looked like a person fucked a chimp. Yeah, look at him.
Oh wow.
Dude, it's creepy. He had. Yeah, get a look.
Oh yeah, I have seen a picture
It's creepy.
of this person.
Go to that one in the far. Go to the second row, second to the far left. That's the black and white one. Yeah, that one. Look at that one. What in the fuck, man?
Wow, that is.
I want to think you say his name was Oliver.
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
So its name was Oliver. But look at the weird facial expression, particularly in that one
bizarre.
image. Now, as he got older, he looked more and more just like a chimp. But one of the weird things about him, see if you can find a video of it, Oliver the Humanzi. He used to walk on his back feet. So it was real creepy. And so that's part of the reason why there was all the speculation that maybe it was like some sort of a hybrid.
It makes sense that there would be like definitely a. There's got to be outliers, you know, because so much genetic information is shared between like all of the animals on the planet, including us, and we have bits
Look at
and
that
pieces
thing.
of all of it.
Bro.
So, oh my gosh, interesting.
Speed restrictions
Yeah,
are now lifted.
could be an outlier.
Flight control
Yeah,
signing
well, they
off.
did a DNA test on it because it had a very bald face as well.
Yeah.
Which is one of the other reasons why I think they had some speculation there was some human in it. But they found out it was just a chimp, just a weird chimp.
Just like a a
Yeah.
unique. Yeah, so.
Yeah, super strange. But I mean, you got to think if human beings, they think in this form that we're at, we've only been around in this form for somewhere in the neighborhood of 250,000 to 450,000 years or something like that. They don't really know, but I think on the short end, it's like 250,000 years. That's not that long.
Oh no, I mean it's weird if you look at the evolutionary, like the lines. We just go.
Yeah.
It's just a departure. Something happened.
Aliens.
I know. I personally, you know, it's my 90%. I always go to the 90%. 10% wrong, but I'm also 90% probably.
Yeah.
I
When
mean,
I'm high, I'm 100%.
yeah, some alien. I mean, mushrooms are aliens. You know.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, they probably came from other places in the universe. There's probably a bunch of lichens, you know, that are like hybrid fungus and molds, you know, that work synergistically. Whatever, who knows? I mean,
Well, psilocybin can survive, the spores can survive in a vacuum. So they can,
Oh, really?
they can survive in the vacuum of space.
oh man,
Yeah, they can survive in extreme temperatures and extreme cold.
Drive charging.
So the idea of panspermia, you know, that
Yeah.
idea that building blocks of life came from asteroidal impacts.
right?
They think that it's really possible that some sort of fungus could exist on an asteroid. You know, we have chunks of the moon in Antarctica and other parts of the world where some big asteroid hits, or a meteor hits the moon, a big chunk flies off, it gets sucked into our gravity and slams into Earth.
Yeah.
And if that can happen, you can get some fungus on that, some sort of spores.
Yeah, I mean, because water bears survive in space as well.
Yep.
And those are like more complex.
They're weird. Those tardigrades, what a weird looking fucking animal that thing is.
I know, it's just like it's the stuff that you don't want to look too much at when you are tripping, because it gives me existential dread, because then I'm like I don't know what I am anymore. Like, I don't know what any of
Look
us
at its face.
are.
Look at that tardigrade's
I mean, it's
face.
so awesome. It's such a. It looks like it's made of like cardboard. You know, like someone like shaped it with like paper mache
or velvet.
Yeah, or velvet.
Like
yeah,
a velvet balloon.
It's just an amazing. Yeah, I mean, life
It's got like a buzzsaw tube for a nose.
Yeah, it's
like its mouth. It's like, what a fucking freaky looking nose.
I
Mouth.
know. How
What
does
is
it
it? A mouth?
sense?
I guess.
How does it even sense? It's like, I guess it just must be moving and probably, I guess, smelling nutrients.
And nothing kills them other than like squashing them, right?
Yeah.
They're really, really, really small.
Yeah, they're really, really tiny, and they can exist in space.
Can you see them with the human eye?
I don't think you could. There's no way. I mean, that looks like scanning electron microscope imagery.
What a fucking weird. And it's got little legs. Like, yeah. I mean, that's what's fucked up, right? Is that all life comes from. I mean, the first life that we believe happened on this planet comes from a single cell.
Yeah.
So it went from a single cell to multiple cells to something like that.
Yeah.
And then eventually you get a whale or a dolphin.
Yeah, totally.
Or a fucking seagull.
Pick a life form. It's like yeah, I mean, it never ceases to amaze me. Just like it just goes on and on and on, and the more that you look, you know, then you're like, yeah, they're atoms. It's like, are they alive? It's like, they're definitely not alive. They're just building blocks. But then what's the definition of life? If it's using energy and it's creating energy, it's like, you know, then there's sentience and awareness and consciousness and all that stuff. But you know, it's all around us, man. We're infinitely inside of it.
What is that? What is the narration saying? Something about a special protein? They're tardigrade. They're disordered because, unlike most other proteins, they don't maintain a 3D structure. How exactly they work to protect the water bear, though, they call them water bears, is still a mystery. What's clear, though, is that it could have big implications for humans. Yeah, great, you fucking creepy scientists. You want to turn us into tardigrades to keep us from getting cancer.
It's like, well, if we harness the T cells from the human being and take bits of tardigrade, we are able to integrate.
We just have to get people comfortable with the new shit.
It's like, it's old science. I mean, we really are. It was just a big experiment ourselves.
Crazy looking little fuckers. We only like what we are. We like what we look like. You know?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the kind of goes like to like what's happening like now, even like with all these riots and protests and all this stuff. It's like, you know, I was talking to a friend about it. My drummer Guillermo grew up similarly, like mostly white culture. Had parents. I mean, I'm half white, half black, so I have my French mom and my African American dad, who was from Cleveland, Ohio. And so the mixture of the two, plus the fact that they were married in 1967, 68, and in the United States it still wasn't legal to marry interracially, so they were
That's
married.
during my lifetime.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? If you want to talk about the history of racism,
Yeah.
during my lifetime,
Yes.
it's not legal for African Americans to.
That's correct. Yeah. And also, and then the Chinese had their own pathway too. They had to I think they were later, but
after that,
I think so. Yeah,
wow.
I think so. But there's it's just like, you know, all that stuff when I think about like how much like went on and to get me to a point at which I can just be chill and be like, oh hey, what's up? You know, like I'm gonna go buy a snack now. I have to think about that because it's. You know, my mom reminds me all the time, thankfully, because I tend to operate from like I'm a human first, and my characteristics and my character and the way that I treat other people is the primary thing. And I'm aware that I look a certain way that might trigger certain people, but that's not how I operate. I don't operate from that. I go for the character first. Then if I start to detect there's something else happening, then I can modulate and figure something out. But I don't want to constantly assume, which growing up in Montana, I would have blown I would have exploded if that was the way I was doing stuff. Because most of the time, Montanans, even if they're kind of, I'm uncomfortable with a black person, even if that was the case, and I come up and I'm having a conversation with them, and after a while they're like, oh, that's cool. Oh, you helped me with my thing. Oh, yeah, thanks for oh, that's cool. And then we're just kind of getting along, and they didn't even realize it. It's like a sneak attack.
What part of Montana did you grow up in?
I grew up in Great Falls.
Where's that? What's that near? What's the big city that's near? There's no big city. What's the closest?
It's the closest would be the capital, Helena.
Oh, okay.
But it's not. But Great Falls is big. I think is bigger than Helena. So Great Falls is about 65,000, but it's got an Air Force base, and it's got an oil refinery, and some canneries like from Budweiser and Pepsi.
Were you there because someone in your family was in the military?
Yeah, my dad. Yeah, my dad was a two-time Vietnam vet. First was in the Army. Then he left the Army after 4 years and then applied with the Air Force. And got in the Air Force, and they sent him back again.
Holy shit.
Which was kind of crazy. But then he survived it, moved to moved to a base in Germany because they were decommissioning. Remember, like in France, we had bases, the United States had bases. And then Charles de Gaulle at the time was like, we don't want your bases in here anymore. So
all your bases belong to us?
All your bases belong to us, yes. We will absorb your bases. And the United States is like, oh, no, we'll get out of there first. And we're like, okay. But, yeah, so he was helping to decommission a base. That's how he met my mom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. His name is Charles, and they met in a bar called the Charlie Bar, which I thought was kind of
wow.
funny.
And then just decided to go to Montana because the base was there?
No, well, we were stationed for a second. We went all over Europe. So I was born in Stuttgart. Then we moved around Spain, Italy, I think. Yeah, Spain and Italy. And then when I was 4 years old, we had a choice of 2 places to go to, and they picked Montana because Montana had a better school system or something at the time. And then I moved there when I was 4, and I wasn't even a citizen. I was a citizen of nothing until I was 4 years old or 5 years old. Yeah, so I was a non-citizen.
How weird is that?
It's really weird.
It's not weird.
It is weird. It's not weird because of the circumstances.
Well, it's not weird because you're a human being on Earth. It's weird that you have to be assigned a patch of dirt.
I know. I know. Well,
what tribe do you belong to, youngin?
It's like, I don't know. I haven't decided. He has not decided. The young one has not decided. I mean, it's weird if I think about it. I'm kind of an immigrant, but kind of not.
Well, you're American.
Yeah.
You have American parents. So even if, Brian Callen was born in... where was he born? He was born in somewhere freaky. Maybe Saudi Arabia?
Like Abu Dhabi.
Something like that. Something outlandish, because his family was on the road all the time as well.
Right, yeah.
Same sort of deal.
Yeah, where you're kind of you're not a citizen. I forget what they call it. There's a status for that. But,
traitor.
It's a traitor. Yeah, it's a traitor or a spy. A spy.
Yes.
Someone not to be trusted.
Candidate.
Yeah, totally. He's the perfect one. He's not connected to anyone. He has no children.
Yes.
No, I mean, yeah, I guess it was like I was in Montana when I kind of vaguely remember being in the courthouse and being made a citizen.
Oh, wow.
Of the United States.
When you were 4?
When I was 5, I think. Oh. Yeah, so for 4, so I was in the United States, I was a non-citizen. I was a non-citizen of the world, and then I became an American citizen. So
how strange.
Yeah, it was very, very strange when I think about it. It's like all the ingredients are insane. Like I'm so stoked I got to grow up where I got to grow up, and I had the experiences that I got to experience, and I love Montana, and I love my friends from Montana, and I like being a guy that people would never expect is from Montana, and it's like great.
Well, you're an unusual guy in that you're very left-wing, like me, but you're also very Second Amendment, pro-Second Amendment.
For sure.
Like me.
Yeah.
I find, you and I have very big parallels on that.
That's true.
All for everyone's rights, for everything. I want people to be free to do whatever. But when shit like this goes down, and people are just randomly lighting targets on fire, and smashing windows and stealing things and knocking cars over and pulling people out of trucks, now you understand that the veneer of civilization is very thin. The chaos of being is very deep, and I don't ever want to have to use a gun, ever. On a human being, ever in my life. If I make it to the grave and never have encountered anyone that I needed to shoot to protect my loved ones' lives, I'd be a happy person.
Yes, of course.
But I'd be much happier if I get to make that choice, you know, and I have the opportunity or the ability to protect myself or to protect someone I care about.
Well, I mean, it's like it depends on the climate that you're. You know, we live in a climate that is like for so many reasons we've gotten to this point at which essentially I could just say the blanket blame goes to capitalism in general. I mean, I'm sure like you talk about this on the show a lot. And capitalism in its most fundamental state is just essentially trade. It's what humans did you set up a fruit stand and like someone's got bread and someone's got, and you trade, and then there's kind of like an understood value for things. And on a basic level, it's just kind of what we do as human beings. We barter, we trade, things like that. And then you flash forward and you like overlay complexity over complexity over complexity that is then guided by people who are like, oh, I can game the system a little bit more. Oh, I can game the system a little bit more. And now you get all these hoarders and people and choke points of resources, right? So then they're kind of dictating value, blah 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 blah. Same thing goes with the arms. It's like, I enjoy the reason why I enjoy my ability to have a firearm is because I respect their power. I'm an engineered-minded person, so I like the engineering and the craftsmanship behind it, and I like the responsibility and the safety factor of it, that people take it seriously. When I grew up, people were really adamant about the safety of guns. Like everything that, whenever I touched a gun, looked at a gun, before you pick it up, they'd be like, never put your finger on the trigger, never point it at anybody unless you plan on firing it. All the things that we all hear about that gun owners are supposed to be taught. And so growing up with guns, I didn't really fear them. They were just a thing, and my whole mom's side of the family was all police people. And my dad was a military policeman. He was in the military, so guns, like, that was just a part of the thing. Farmers, hunting, all that stuff. Great Falls, same thing. Growing up at my friend's houses, deer hunting, strung up, on the rafters with a bunch of cardboard on the ground, getting ready to be processed. All of that stuff. And for me, I came back to guns maybe 10 years ago or something like that, because I was interested in training and overcoming my fear of handguns. And so that fascination was great. I went to Montana, and my experiment was like, how long will it take me to get a handgun? And I walked into a sporting goods store, one of my favorites. Walked in, timed it 20 minutes. I walked out, and I had a bag with a handgun and ammunition in the bag. And I was walking out of the store.
So there's no waiting period?
No. You fill out the background check. You do the background check. And they're like, oh, looks like there's no red flags or whatever. You can have the gun. Wow. Which part of me is like, if you're a responsible gun owner and you respect firearms, that seems kind of normal. You're like, oh, I'm responsible. I know how to use this weapon safely. Buy this gun and I'm going to walk out, right? And that was my first firearm. Whilst it was an interesting experiment, I will say, and when I talk to all my law enforcement friends in Montana, like, the guy who walked in his suit and had a full-on three-piece suit, and then had his concealed carry on him, and then
Access granted. Cleared for landing on docking bay 4-1.
But he is a prosecutor and has to have security when he goes to cases and things like that, because when they get convicted, sometimes people sick their friends on them and stuff like that. Anyways, he'd never had any altercations, but an interesting guy, really very heavily armed, blah 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 blah. And I started talking to him. I was like, what would happen if, in order to get a firearm, you had to, back when the NRA was when truly was the NRA, when it was a bunch of war vets who were like, this is how you use firearms safely, way back in those days. If people had to go through training and had to be evaluated, had to pass driving, when you drive, get your driver's license, you have to get into a car and you have to get an instructor there and you have to pass these tests. And when I talk in that way, they're like, I don't really have a problem with that. And I'm like, yeah, because you're only doing yourself a favor.
Right.
You're promoting safety and you're educating people about firearms. And it's up to them if you want to have a firearm or you don't want to have a firearm. But if you do, you have to know how to safely operate a firearm. And there are many kinds of firearms. They're not all the same thing. Yeah. So, anyways, but it was an interesting conversation.
That is a powder keg of a conversation,
I know,
right?
I know.
If you even intimate just beat around the bush. That maybe be a good idea for people to learn how to use a gun before they buy. Traitor! You fucking traitor! Fucking Second Amendment is a right.
I know, and
it's
that's
a right.
I know, and you know, and it's so funny because that's why I like whenever I've got a bunch of friends. They got concealed carry all the time for their professions in Great Falls. You know, I'm sitting down with them. They've got a firearm on them. I never feel like nervous or anything like that. But they're highly opinionated about people who open carry. People who open carry, they're always like, those people are almost always concealed carry permit people always say that they don't like those people because you have a weapon that's visible and it doesn't have a fancy biometric lock on it. There's nothing. It's like if you're in a situation that someone walks up behind you and takes your gun, they've got a gun, and you just told everybody, you just shown everybody that you have a firearm, and so. There's this weird thing about open carry that concealed carry people are like, this is ridiculous. While you can do it if it's legal in your state, certainly. Is it a good decision? I don't think so.
It's probably not a good decision to do it when you just go into Walgreens. But
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It probably exists so that no one can ever infringe upon your rights to have one in any capacity. So if you're, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's not a thing where you want to do all the time, but if some shit goes down and you have a gun outside of your house, the law should be you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like the law says you're allowed to open carry, so you can have this gun outside your house. It doesn't mean go to the movies with a fucking AK-47 strapped to your chest.
Yeah, which people do, and I get it, and the whole thing about like the gun issue is that it needs to start somewhere, and it should start at education.
Yes,
you know,
education's that's the key, right?
Yeah.
Like, and some people are great at it. Most people that I know that are into guns are very into the safety aspect of it, and they understand it. It's very important to them. Yeah, but it's one of those things where, first of all, here's what's fucking weird. I know so many people that want a gun now. So many people that are asking for all these liberals.
So many liberal friends of mine are asking me. They're like, "I know you have a gun. Did you like?" And I was like, "What does it take?" I'm like,
I was talking to two different friends who have had friends ask them if they can borrow a gun. Like, you can't loan someone a gun.
No, you can't.
You people that are anti-gun are hilarious because they don't know that there are rules. Like this idea that there's no rules. No, there's rules. Like all they hear about is, oh, but what about the gun show loophole? They start talking about the gun show loophole. Yeah. Go to a gun show then. See any gun shows? No. Well, you can't have my gun. Get the fuck out of here.
I know. It's so. That's the thing. That's the thing that's so hard about it because, like, for me, I'm a pragmatist, and to me, it's always about awareness. It's always about education, and the thing that the conversation always breaks down on either side, where it's like, if it's a gun nut, and they're like, any hint of something that says we're gonna have to talk about this, you know, they're like, no, and then the people who are really anti-gun, they're like, any hint that there might have to be a compromise made, then they're also equally like, no. And nothing's ever going to get done unless you get soldiers, cops, people who use guns who have to use guns for a profession, talking to people who are heritage gun owners, people who've been growing up for generations doing that, to people who live in urban situations where there's illegal gun sales and black market guns and their property guns and their communities. All that stuff needs to be talked about, but the sides are so entrenched, it's very, very, very difficult.
Well, I think something like we're experiencing right now, these riots and the looting, this opens people's eyes. This is like we were talking about our liberal friends that are very interested in getting a gun now. This opens people's eyes. You realize, like, this is not, no one's on a power trip. You're just talking about your ability to safely defend your loved ones and yourself. That's all you're talking about.
Absolutely, 100%. You know, and my thing is too. It's like technology is amazing, and guns are an interesting form of technology because obviously, if again in a healthy situation, you're like, oh, did you see the new blah 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 blah? Oh yeah, they enhanced this. Oh yeah, there's a tri-mount for the silencer. So did you apply for the silencer? I have a Class 1 license. All that geeky stuff. It's as geeky as people working on engines and hot rods, right?
Right. Exactly.
There's that, right? Then there's the whole cultural thing that in movies, you know, like Bad Boys and everything. Just guns are just stuff that people just have and they're just shooting around. And the thing is, like, people never understand when you talk to a war vet about and gunfights and firefights, especially recent firefights. They're like, I never ever would ever wish you to ever be in a gunfight, ever. And so, and I believe them because I know things can change so quickly. A bullet, when you shoot a gun and it hits somebody and it ends their life, even if they were like threatening them and so forth, that is one of the most traumatic things that can happen in a human being's life. And they have to live with that all the time. I mean, soldiers, at least, they have like, I'm on a side and I'm trained, you know, and there's psychological help and all that stuff. Or police officers, same thing. Most of them never even draw their weapons, but when they do, and they do fire it, the consequences are devastating on a psychological level. But I will say that, you know, my friend Carrie was the first 3 rounds that you have in your personal protection gun at home, whatever, your handgun, whatever it is. What if the first 3 rounds were rubber? And then there were live rounds after that. And he was like, oh, that's an interesting one. And I'm like, anything to protect yourself, but not necessarily guarantee that you're going to kill somebody if it's, you know, if it's a weird situation. Situations happen fast, and I understand when someone comes into your house, all bets are off. Whatever you need to do, however you feel, if someone breaks into your house, I understand that completely. But for me, I'm like, what can I do to make it really hard for someone to even get to me in the first place?
Yeah.
And my last resort is a weapon that can kill somebody. That's my very, very, very last. But I'm going to do everything I can to be as preemptive as possible, to not be enticing for people to want to come up and attack.
Yeah, these rubber bullets that these cops are using on protesters. How fucked up is this? That they're just shooting them into people.
Yeah, directly.
Yeah.
They're supposed to hit them off the ground.
They're shooting them at fucking reporters. You see those reporters? You're interviewing these people and they're like, ow, what the fuck?
Yes.
They're just getting shot at.
I know.
By cops that know they're reporters.
Yes, I know. And a reporter lost her eye recently. An ABC reporter, someone like that. Yeah, got hit in the eye with a rubber bullet just recently, like yesterday or something like that. Oh, my God. And lost an eye. That happened, too, when I was at the WTO riots. You know, like, 1 second you're like, oh, cool. The chief of police is talking to the lead organizer, and he's got his helmet off, and everyone's like, oh, this is cool. They're all talking. And then from behind the police lines, you hear a bullhorn. We're going to be launching tear gas. Please clear the area. You're like, wait a minute, but you guys were just talking. It's like, oh, I don't know. And he doesn't know because that was another order placed by someone that wasn't him. And then suddenly it turns into pandemonium, and the next thing you know, another dude loses a guy that I knew that was a friend of a friend lost his eye in the WTO, right? It's because the guy, the police officer shot at him directly instead of bouncing it off the ground. It's just like, and it comes down to my gun guru dude that I was, you know, training with for a film, and that's kind of what launched me back into stuff. But he was saying, training. It's like when it comes to police officers, it's community outreach, being able to actually establish a contact with your community so that they can at least have some form of trust or someone that they can talk to, that they can relate to, so they understand the police are there for their protection. And the other thing is like training. A lot of these officers are just like, they're just sending them out and going, hey, good luck. Deal with stuff as it happens. And then some of the cats are like, they don't know, and their anger gets the best of them. Someone's being indignant, and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna lay it down.
I just think most people do not have the kind of temperament and character to deal with being in a position of having control over other people. Real ultimate fatal control over other people. I just don't think they have that. I think most people, I think that takes a really powerful person. And there are powerful people out there that handle it well, and they're great cops.
Yes.
And then there's guys like that guy who put his fucking knee on that man's neck for 8 minutes and 38 seconds or for whatever it was. And finally, the family got their own autopsy. And the autopsy showed the man did die from
asphyxiation.
Yeah, not just asphyxiation, but also from the blood being cut off to the brain.
Jeez.
Which is really what it is. It's a blood choke because you're putting your shin on the side of the neck. It's cutting off the carotid artery. It's like a choke, like a jiu-jitsu choke. You know, the idea that that's not what killed him is like, come on. What, was just a coincidence? I mean, what is the autopsy? Like, how corrupt are your fucking medical examiners?
Man, I'm telling you, it's I know where they're like, well, we need to get ahead of this, and it's like, just
we just
like
found he had pre-existing conditions.
Yeah,
it's called being black.
Yes, that was
pre-existing condition.
That was I know. Oh my
called
God.
being black and being arrested, especially by that guy. That guy had 12 different abuse forms that were abuse claims against him over the years.
Yeah, I know. And the guys that were just kind of sitting there, the cops that were sitting there, it's like they, again, it's also a training issue. It's like, and if you're a cop and you've noticed a fellow officer in the field doing some shit that they think is like not cool or just straight illegal, whatever, or they have a feeling that it's going to escalate with this person if it's left unchecked, it's hard for them to communicate because there's this whole brotherhood loyalty thing that locks everybody into like this code of silence. And it sucks because, how do you expect police departments to get better if police departments aren't allowing themselves to get better?
Well, some people that do step out, they get in trouble, right? Yeah. Some people that do call out other officers for shitty behavior. But there was one woman really recently, I think it was either yesterday or today, there was a guy and he's arguing with these protesters, this male cop, and this woman gets on her knees in front of him and says she's on her knees. And he shoves her to the ground when she's on her knees. And this female officer gets in the guy's face and starts yelling at him. And as he's walking away, she's chasing him down and yelling at him.
Oh, God.
And it's all on video. So there are examples of good cops who see cops being abusive. And go, hey, and this guy was clearly abusive. Like, there's one guy standing there and he got right in the guy's face, like intimidating him, and then he pushed the girl down. Look, there's a lot of people that shouldn't be cops. And then the stress of those situations where you're trying to take control of a mob, it turns bad. Or you get that sheriff from Flint, Michigan. Did you see that video?
Oh, that was amazing.
It's amazing.
That was amazing.
It's beautiful. It brings a tear to your eye.
Really did.
He's like, we're going to put down the batons. We're going to march with you. It's like, we're all together in this.
Yes.
And we want you to have a voice.
Yeah.
And then he's hugging people and everybody's hugging everybody.
Yeah.
And then they're walking together. So imagine the cop that pushed the lady down and put him in that situation with those people.
Yeah.
With that same aggro attitude. He'd be yelling at people and telling them to shut the fuck up and pushing them away, and it probably would have escalated.
Yep.
Or imagine that cop in the other scenario with that woman on the ground. He'd probably be like, ma'am, I don't want you on your knees. Like, we're all in this together. Like, we all saw what happened to that man, and it's an injustice.
Yeah.
Let's walk together. Let's try to heal this community. Let's try to do better.
Yeah, that's what I want to see, man. I mean, that's all it comes down to. It's it's all about behavior, how you handle a situation in the moment. And again, if they had a little bit of training, just a little bit of training to say, like, stop, think, then assess the situation, and unless your life is in danger, but these situations are not that. These are cops that are like, something happens, there's like something clicks and there's chaos all around, and the instinct is like essentially the same mentality as someone who's taking advantage of it on the other side, who are like the people who come out after the initial rage wave of like, which is a natural kind of biological instinct, and it's a rebalancing. But then there are the opportunists that sneak in behind the wave, and those are the people that you see like targeting in a very organized way, targeting these stores, knowing exactly where they're going to go, and they're going to take advantage of these moments of chaos.
Yes.
And then of course that gets mixed in, and the cops see that, and it's like, well, they kind of get in on that wavelength instead of the majority wavelength, which is just like, we're pissed, we're emotional, we're loud, but we're allowed to do this.
Have you seen these bricks that people have been finding at all these different sites where people are protesting? These organized stacks of bricks.
No.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm going to send you one that Eddie sent me.
Who do you think is putting that?
That's the question, right? It's like, who is putting that? Is it Antifa? Is it the cops? Is it someone who wants someone to throw a brick so that they can impart martial law? Like, what is it?
Yeah, my brain always goes to conspiratorial.
Here it is. Mysterious
elements.
brick piles appear throughout major protest cities. I mean, these are bricks that are appearing that don't have a reason to be there. Jamie, I'm going to send you this video that Eddie sent me, because this is. I'll airdrop it to you, buddy.
God, man,
it's the car too, the bait car they said in Long
Yes.
Beach yesterday. They
Yes.
left a car out there.
Hey, they left an old shitty car.
Who leaves a fucking free car out for people to just take?
A free police car. So they left an old shitty police car out there, and then on top of that, this old. Why is this not? Okay, Jamie, I'm airdropping to you right now. So this old shitty police car, and then these three, you have all these protesters, and then these three people move in a very organized fashion. And there's a guy who made a video about it. You seen the video, Jamie, where the guy breaks down these the Antifa? Have you seen that? I'll send you the video. Cause, what's that? Yeah. Okay, put it up on the screen. Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
That's so crazy.
So there's these, there it is. So these random pallets of bricks. This is very organized. This is on Ventura Boulevard out here in LA, or I think it's in North Hollywood. So these pallets of bricks are just sitting there. Look at this.
What?
Yes.
They're just like riot supplies.
Exactly, riot supplies. And
What?
Exactly. So who's doing this? This is very organized.
I mean,
there's many stacks of these bricks.
It's very anti-anarchist.
Well, is it?
Because it's organized.
But I mean, well, it's fuel for anarchy, right?
Yeah, but I wonder.
Look at this.
Or do you think? I mean, here's another theory. It could be possibly performance art. I mean, and I'm not saying that like as a joke, but like some performance artists like go to that length, but that's very, very organized and very ominous and very weird. I mean, I hope that those were reported and that the police like picked them up.
Well, one thing that is happening that's promising is that these provocateurs are getting caught by actual Black Lives Matter protesters and grabbing them, and these assholes that are breaking windows and spray painting things. Like, they're grabbing these people and saying, hey, you fuck, and they're turning these people in. Like, these people are smashing things.
Thank the Lord.
But they're recognizing that this is damaging to this. Like, there's a great moment in time right now where we can enact real change. Where you can, this is like, you get this, and it's really the perfect storm in terms of in its horrific nature. You see this guy who's nonchalantly got his knee on this man's neck for 8 minutes, 48 seconds. Just there's no justification. It's very clear. It's horrific. There's no blurriness. There's no gray area. It's just dirty. It's awful. And then the man dies, and everybody is, for a fantastic reason, upset, and they want change, and they're marching through the streets. But then when you see these bricks, and then we see the chaos, and they've caught cops that people knew were cops wearing police distributed gas masks, like official gas masks, like the ones that the cops use. Like the same wardrobe that cops wear. Everything's black, all military issue shit. And then these people would chase them. Are you a fucking cop? Like, this guy's breaking windows at Target. And then someone in the comments is like, I know who that is. That guy is a cop. And they were calling out the guy's name. So this cop is going around while these peaceful protests are going on, and he's smashing windows with a gas mask on, fully dressed in military issue garb. And people are like, well, that's an aged provocateur. But is he acting on his own? Is he a rogue cop? Is he like one of those crazy firefighters that lights buildings on fire so that they can save them?
Right.
Is he inciting this? What is going on here?
I think some people just wish they want it to turn into something massive, and they want it to be like a civil war. And there's also like the whole race war thing that, you know, you hear about, and the white supremacists and stuff like that talk about, you know, and there's like the right way. The thing is, like, your mind can swim in all kinds of like conspiratorial ways, and it's a mixture of all kinds of things, you know. It's definitely like, it's probably like, hey, I'm gonna do this, or like, hey, we should do that, or someone kind of kids around and someone's listening, you know, in the police department or whatever, and they're like, yeah, well, what if we were doing that or whatever, and they hear that and they're like, I am gonna do that. Who knows? But that's some dangerous shit, and I think that's amazing that protesters who are seeing this are detaining these people, because those people, they're just not helping in any way. And
here's a good one. See, this asshole is smashing things, and this guy comes over and grabs him and fucking body slams him. And then everybody holds the guy down. They're screaming and yelling at him. And they hold this guy. Because these are Antifa. Look at, he's trying really hard to cover his face.
It's like, no,
hey, fuck you. What is he hitting with a hammer? What was he hitting?
He was making bricks off the sidewalk.
And that's so. Good.
It's
Oh
all
my
gray
god.
hair. How old is that dude?
I don't know.
It's very frail. Shitty jiu-jitsu.
I mean, I
Look
think
how easy they took him down.
There's definitely some anarchists that are like You know, they're like, we're doing this. This is our time. And you know that there's like a whole wave of those people because, I mean, I remember going to Brandenburg, Germany. A friend of mine out there has like a bunch of kind of Antifa / anarchist, but like kind of German mellow version of that. Bought a bunch of land that was actually, it's got like a weird shaky history, but it was like Goebbels' training camp for the Nazi youth at one point. And then it was, before that, it was like a Polish, I don't know, like Air Force place or something like that. Anyways, it has like this military weird shaky history, but they bought it and they converted it, and now it's like very accepting of all people, like all kinds of people live on there. And then they are people who work on the what's it called? Fusion Festival, which is one of the biggest festivals in the world in Germany. That's in Brandenburg, and it's an amazing festival. It's all just love-based techno, you know, but it's got that hard edge of like anti-corporate. It's all DIY, but it's massive. It's like 70,000 people festival. It's like Burning Man. And very interesting conversations that you hear from them. But
do you speak German?
I don't. I mean, a tiny bit. Ein bisschen, but not a lot. I actually was trying to learn. I love the German language.
Do they speak English?
Yeah, they speak English.
So when you're having these conversations?
Yes, yeah, we're speaking English. Yeah. I remember once because I was renting an Audi R8 V10 Plus, and I drove it onto the grounds when they were tearing down, and this young woman came up with a spray paint can and was like shaking the can and going, "What are you doing here with this kind of a vehicle?" And it was this weird tense standoff, but I was with one of the people who's like one of the head.
Like she was gonna spray paint your car?
Oh yeah. And
what a bold lady.
I know. And in a way, like I was like, you know what, if she would have done it, that's fine. I was in her territory, you know.
Fuck that.
You know, I mean, I'm okay with like when it comes to like people who are that passionate about like anti-corporate and stuff like that. I'm like, I get it.
But that's your property.
I mean, I'm renting
yeah,
it.
but she doesn't know that.
She doesn't know that, but I did, and I had a feeling she wasn't. But inside my head, I was like, what if she did? And I'd be like, well, I guess I just have to drive this Audi with like this fascist, anti-fascist, whatever symbol on the side of the car, which I don't, you know, it's like, it's a funny thing. Like
no good ever comes out of that. That's the problem. No good ever comes out of defacing property. There's no compromise gets reached. No conversation gets breached.
No, and not when you're destroying. Not when you're destroying history and you're destroying. It's just destruction. Again, as an initial response, understandable. If something happens and people go out and they're young, especially in this climate, you know, being cooped up, no jobs. What do you want to do? Let's rally behind this. This is ridiculous. Whatever. Boom. Initial like, who knows what's going to happen in that chaos when everybody goes outside. I get that. The continuation of it, as the standard behavior, that's a problem that any leader, any civil leader is going to condemn and frown upon, because at the end of the day, I'm a pragmatist, and it's just inefficient. It's just very inefficient. And
that's a funny way to look at it. Inefficient.
It's like, how are you going to use that energy? Like, harness the energy for real. If you want real change, you have to strategize. And for me, I'm about hacking. Like, we gotta hack this system.
Yeah, but you're this guy who's like really into engineering. You're very thoughtful. That's not what you're dealing with these burn it to the ground motherfuckers. These people don't have a plan B, and they don't have a forward strategy. They just want to, we're gonna fucking tear down capitalism, man.
Yeah.
And then what? How are you gonna get your food, you fuck? Where are you gonna get your shoes? Who's making your shoes? Where did you get your car, you fucking idiot?
I know.
Where'd your phone come from? I'll give you a hint. Not America.
Yes, I know.
Things have to get made, dum-dum. People have to engineer them.
It is really like, it is, and I agree with that 100%.
They're using capitalism to fight capitalism.
Yes.
They're using the internet and social media sites on cell phones that they bought.
Yes. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, here's the thing. This is what's so weird about it, is that it's such a paradox, right? I mean, essentially is what you're describing.
Yeah.
So, like, if you want to affect change, you're either going to fit into the feedback loop, you're going to feed back into the feedback loop, or you're going to figure out a way to shift it so that you're able to spiral away from it. And that's really what we need. And I like people taking responsibility for getting rid of the fuckwits that are like fucking it up for everybody, because guaranteed, whether it's the police or whether it's protesters, it's always a very, very small percentage of those people are going to fuck it up, because also the news loves sensationalism. So we're going to focus
also,
on that.
I think, well, this what we're dealing with right now is really the perfect storm. Okay, you have a bunch of pieces in place. First of all, there's a lot of people that never really recovered from the 2008 crisis, right? As people are very upset that the bankers and the subprime mortgage loans and the housing crisis and everything went chaotic. People lost shit tons of money. And then all of a sudden, you have this pandemic. And the pandemic comes along and people cannot work. So for the first time ever, through no fault of your own, you literally can't work for months and months at a time. There's a staggering number of people right now that are in desperate states. They're in a terrible position financially. They're about to lose their home. They're about to lose their car. They don't know what the fuck they're going to do to feed themselves.
Yep.
And then you get this murder.
Yep.
And the murder just lights all this dry wood.
Yep.
And then everybody says, look, these people are all full of shit. Donald Trump's full of shit. Nancy Pelosi's full of shit. They're all monsters. It's all bull. Gavin Newsom's full of shit. Let's fucking burn it down. Let's steal. Let's smash. And that's taking apart. That's happening while these peaceful protests are happening. All the while, people just got done watching The Joker. So The Joker,
yes, I know,
which is this fucking billion-dollar movie where this guy kills everybody and burns it to the ground, shoots people on TV, and you kind of cheer for him. You kind of cheer for him.
Of course.
If this was a movie and a bunch of people were like, look, we're going to fucking end this corrupt system of capitalism, start smashing windows and burning things, part of you would be going, let's see how this turns out.
Yeah.
How is this going to turn out? This is kind of an interesting choice. Like, wow, these guys are getting crowded. They have a plan. But then if in the movie, like if you saw these pallets of bricks just mysteriously appearing at these areas where people are scheduled to protest and where these marches are supposed to go by, you're like, hey, what is the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, it's there's something else at play that's like trying to like push it over into that fantasy, to move from the fantasy into the reality.
And my left-wing friends think it's right-wing people that are agent provocateurs that are trying to start this sort of chaotic scene so that the military can be called in, which is what essentially Trump apparently did today.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, apparently, Jamie, why is everybody saying that it's martial law? Is that something that happened after his speech?
Well,
because during his speech, he was essentially saying that if they didn't call in the National Guard,
he was going to
bring in the military,
Yeah.
which is, I don't think
I don't
that's
know if he can
legal.
do that. I don't think he can do that.
That statement, I think, is what they're taking as
martial law.
Yeah, or essentially.
Yeah, which in a weird way goes against. I mean, like you're talking about left wing people saying like it's the right wing, and I'm sure that there are right wing people that are like saying, oh, it's the left wing because they want it to make it. Yeah, they think it's Antifa. So it's like all this finger pointing. Whoever's doing it is definitely winning for their point of view, because they're like, well, we're doing it. No one knows who it is. And we're just doing it.
Well, agent provocateurs have been used from the beginning of time. I mean, they've always done that. Hitler burned the Reichstag. He did that to incite the people of Germany to get behind him and that he was going to take control of the situation. Nero burned Rome, same way. I mean, it was all done in order to get people excited about this idea of this one person saving them from this attack. And that has been done forever.
Yeah.
Alex Jones had a great video called 9/11: The Road to Tyranny. It was the first time I really understood that agent provocateurs are a government strategy. And he detailed, like, this is like, I guess it was like 2001 or 2002 that he put this video out, and he detailed how the World Trade Organization, when those people were protesting against the WTO, and this was in Seattle.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, okay. So when you were there in 2000.
I was there just before it blew up. It was I actually don't know. It was 2000. It was
early 2000s.
Early 2000s, maybe 2000, 2001 or something.
So these people were protesting against the WTO, and then these guys dressed exactly like that guy I was talking about earlier, all black, face covered, military issue outfits, military issue Vibram soled shoes, all dressed uniformly, started smashing windows, smashing cars, pushing over post office boxes, lighting things on fire, and then they wound up shutting down all the protests, and even had they had a no protest zone where
Yep.
people were showing up at work where they had a WTO stick, or like a WTO pin with a red line through it. They made them take that pin off of their jacket before they went through the line, because you couldn't have anything that was anything, any sort of a protest. It was crazy. Like, this is all documented in this film. Then they eventually, all these guys who were the agent provocateurs, holed up in a building, and then the police negotiated with them and then released them. So there was some sort of an order from higher up, and they were all released.
Interesting.
They used these guys, they used military people, some branch of the government, who knows what the fuck they were or who they were. They used them to turn a peaceful protest about a legitimate concern these people have about the doings of the World Trade Organization, and they turned it into a violent encounter that they could then justifiably bring in the police and shut everything down.
Makes sense.
That's what people are worried about with these bricks. They're worried about these bricks. These bricks, this is horseshit. And this is done to shut down the peaceful protests where people are legitimately and righteously concerned about ending police brutality. Because it's been going on forever. It's been going on too long.
Yeah, I mean, I just, at this point, it's like I don't put past any measure done by people that want to maintain their bottom line. Like, they'll do whatever it takes. And it's like, again, you know, when it comes to stuff like that, I'm like, I want to stay informed. I want to keep those ideas in mind in the most simplistic way, which is, if you've got a lot of shit, you're gonna do whatever it takes to keep your shit, and you'll do all kinds of crazy shit to try to maintain power and control, and
vice versa.
And what really sucks is that if you did the opposite, if you did what that sheriff did, you actually not only get what you want, but you get more.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't understand. The virus of doing evil badly, that's what I think of it as. Being very inefficient and terrible at being selfish and greedy. If you were really selfish and if you were really greedy, you would make sure that the well-being of your population was met, so that there was reverence for your position. And if there's reverence for your position, then you have the goodwill of people, and it's easier to make things happen. However, people don't get that.
That's 5D chess.
Yeah, man. I mean, come on. It's like,
I know, but evil people don't think like that, right?
I know they don't.
They just want control and power. It's like the type of person that
Excuse me.
wants to be in that position is the type of person that just wants control and power. They want people to be afraid of them. Like even the way Trump talks about it, you know, he talks about using dogs. He's talking about using the most vicious dogs. Like, he says it's such a foolish. He's got such a foolish way of communicating in times of crisis, and that's what's really dangerous, because some people are really good in times of crisis.
Yeah.
Like Obama was very good in times of crisis.
Yeah.
Even George W. gave a speech after 9/11 that made everybody love him.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, "This is our guy. He's going to take care of us." But I don't agree with him on certain political issues. But
certainly.
obviously, there's clearly evil in the world. We just saw these people take down the World Trade Centers, and people have died, and we're being attacked. Okay, this guy, he's going to take care of us.
Yeah.
And you don't get that feeling with Trump at
No.
all.
No. Trump is like, I mean, it's like he's just in his own feedback loop. So whatever he can do to make himself feel good, he's going to do it. And then he only understands caveman principles, which is power, strength, show strength, dominance. But he doesn't believe it himself. That's the thing. It's like, you know that Trump, for as much bolstering as he does all of this shit that he says, I swear to God, if he was in a room with someone who's just like, you're talking about all this tough guy stuff, let's go right now, he would be cowering in a corner. He can't back up any of this stuff. All of his positions, it's just hot air.
It would be a great episode of Black Mirror.
Oh my God, yeah, I know, right?
It would be great. It would have to be like a guy who's like a guy who he's insulted, but that's like unassuming, who fucks him up. You know, it'd have to be Justin Trudeau, because he's like Justin Trudeau's like the super social justice warrior guy, and he's a handsome fellow with a beautiful thick head of hair.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden Trump wakes up and he's in like MMA shorts,
yes,
with his big man boobs.
Yeah, totally. And they're putting in the mouth guard, and they're like, okay, so this is what you're gonna do. He's like,
where am I?
Justin Trudeau's like, they're just like massaging,
stretching,
totally doing these crazy kicks.
Starts fucking up. And better yet, it would be a woman.
Oh, that would be That would be amazing.
Yeah, some badass woman who fucks him up.
Yep.
Some woman president of like Nigeria or some shit.
Totally.
Starts kicking his ass.
Oh my god. And making fun of him while she's fighting him. And totally. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I think it would just be
imagine
good
that
to
was
have
the rule.
Oh man.
Like if you had to fight someone, like if you wanted your government to fight, how about better yet? We break it down to 1 versus 1 in the best controlled situation where we're going to lose the least amount of life.
Yeah.
You challenge to a duel the other person from the other country.
I'm so down with that. I remember there was a science fiction story, I think maybe in the 80s, or it was like in the 80s or the 70s, and it was about that. It was like in the future, world leaders would just fight each other. So
we'd have a real problem with Putin.
Master cheater.
Well, he knows how to fight. He's a black belt in judo.
Oh, is he?
Legit black belt. Yeah, he's very good.
All right.
You ever seen videos of him?
No.
Yeah, see if you can find videos of Putin doing judo. He's very good. He trains with legit guys too.
Okay.
It seems like they kind of let him throw him around a little bit.
A little Seagal.
Very Seagal-like. But when you look at his movements, he's clearly skilled. He's very skilled.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. He absolutely knows what he's doing. Here he goes. See, this is him working out with the Russian judo team. Like that kind of shit.
That guy, that was a little weird the way he felt.
No, man. That was a legit move. That's a legit move. It seems so effortless. It's just a simple sweep. What they're doing right now is they're grabbing. He's got a little fucking problem. He's a little dumb.
Oh.
They're grabbing each other's. They're just gonna tape his thumb up. They're grabbing each other's gi.
My sponsor. I'm really pissed off. What happened? I saw a tweet. He's all, what? Saw a tweet. And when you say it out loud, you're like, oh, yeah. It just kind of deflates it right there. But, I was angry over that statement because of the hypocrisy in Jar Jar's. And the best thing, honestly, for Hollywood celebs, if they want to help a cause, help a cause. But by all means, be an adult and do your homework, and just don't blindly give your money to an organization that could take off with it, that could be funding the violence, and that's all we ask. Support the causes all you want, but we all know that you tweeted about supporting the cause and then you probably supported it afterwards, because I noticed some tweets came before showing that you paid your $50 on PayPal towards that card. By the way, $50 towards a cause. I wouldn't have put that up there. Patton Oswalt's the worst, and Seth Rogen. They don't realize, again, and listen, actors are artists, so they're very emotional people. They go to emotion first. I can be that way too. We can all be that way. And they don't realize the damage they do because, for the most part, they're pretty dumb. So I've talked a lot about the person who walks away silently, the person who really hates what's going on but doesn't go on Twitter and bitch about it, with either because they don't want to deal with the blowback they're going to get, or they just don't need to because it's Twitter. Who cares? Why do you have to spurt out every feeling you have every 5 seconds? You don't. That's the vast majority of the country. So that's why polls were wrong, we'll say, a few years ago. So that's why the fall of Skywalker made $1 billion less than The Force Awakens, because people, a vast majority of Star Wars fans just went, this sucks, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I have no time for that. I'm too busy working, going about my lives. Now, the reason the situation is exacerbated right now is because there's a lot of people not working. So they get a constant dose of this all the time. It's not healthy in any way, shape, or form. And it sucks. We need to know what's going on. What I use now is a couple of apps. And yes, I realize I'm probably being surveyed by China or somebody by going to these apps, but whatever. And I use my Citizen app, right, which tells me what's going on around me in real time. Let's see what's going on around me right now. That's new. A man on Mission Street, and this was 42 minutes ago.
Position authorized. Set
There
down
was a
on landing pad
man
30.
brandishing a gun.
Automated docking approved.
And on a pedestrian was nicked by a car. And that's honestly, that's kind of a normal day around here. I'm not going to say that's anything unusual. My ice cream was awesome, Eric K. I had that was my chocolate chip cookie, core. I have sometimes after a big long live stream I have some ice cream. It's my indulgence. I don't usually like sweets or anything like that, but it's good for the soul. It is. So what's up, Eric K? Yeah, I forgot to turn off my live stream the other night. So somebody got a chair stream. I'm glad, dude, it's bound to happen. How many live streams have I done? 500? I think I've done somewhere around the neighborhood of 500 live streams. So to not turn it off once is pretty good. Pretty good. Thanks, Eric K, for the $2. So who do we have here? We got Peppermint Oil Capsule. We got Adamant Outcast. We got Dr. Beast Hunter. What's up? Are you in the UK? What's up, UK? I was watching a little bit of Az's stream today. Mark Santos. We got Rennie. We got Chris Miracle. We got Montessaurus. David Rayner. Arthur P. John Robertson. Sarah B. And Odin. What's up, Odin? How's it going? Man? I don't know about you. I'm pretty close to having my summer beard trim, which is it's gonna take a couple inches off it. Very close. What's up, Stellar Heather?
Additionally, entrants will not be informed of the contents of the prize until those products have been officially announced to the public by Games Workshop. Entrants must therefore be aware that they should win. There will be a delay between the notification that they are. All right, yeah, okay, this is it. This is it. Hey, Clark, how you doing?
Landing coupler disengaged. Departure authorized.
Thank you for the kind words. It's the Inquisition. Too late. The essential of freed successors and the star. Oh, right, that one. Oh, okay, yeah, I get you. Yeah, because there was another one as well, wasn't there? There was like that, not Dark Imperium box, which was like Dark Imperium, like a lesser version down. And I don't think it had the Gravis counter. I think it just had like a left template or something like that, right? Does everything fit Primaris on the Black Temple upgrade sprue? Being considered in getting one, and the shoulder pads will and stuff like that, mate. Yeah, all the shoulder pads will. Of course, when it comes to the arms and stuff, it's probably a little bit of work there, but I tend to they are a little bit longer. Strike first, no first.
Frameshift drive
You're
charging.
stripping your Australis? I am, mate. It's here. I'm going to attempt to do it tomorrow.
You have left the no-fire zone. Safe travels, Commander.
Tomorrow night on the stream, we can start right from there. Yellows on it, and we'll go from there. Dark Imperium, the Gravis Captain. The Gravis Captain, yeah, he's still a figure. He's still not out, which is a strange one. The Gravis Captain and the Ancient are still not sold separately. Then again, so the Suppressors, they're not sold separately. So I'm wondering if there's going to be more stuff coming out. 3 years. Is 3 years like hopeful for anything to come out or not? Maybe that's the incentive to buy that box set just to get the Gravis Captain. Maybe. Suppressors are crap. Suppressors are not crap.
Going to get a lot of attention, and they honestly haven't. But I mean, blame. You can't blame the businesses. All right. So Golden Apple Comics was vandalized down in LA, and I know Ryan a little. I mean, we've hung out a couple of times. It's been years since I've seen Ryan, the owner, Ryan Leibowitz, and he's just a good human being. He's a good human being, and he didn't deserve that. I would guess that he supports your cause, and he didn't deserve that. But he's going to be okay. But there's another shop in San Diego in La Mesa, which, by the way, this is just my opinion. This shows it's coordinated because, for one, people don't protest in San Diego, and when they protest, they don't protest in La Mesa. Why did they choose La Mesa? The people who protest in San Diego live in Kensington. They live in Hillcrest. They live in Pacific Beach. They live in Imperial Beach. They don't live in La Mesa. Just think of your most normal strip mall part of America. That's La Mesa. Shit doesn't happen ever. So yeah. The Talons of Wang Chang for £4.99. Hey, hi Gary, glad to hear you cracked open those Blake 7 DVDs I sent you. Hope you're enjoying them, and I look forward to the review. Stay safe, mate. Yes, I am almost finished with season 1. Okay, so when I say I've been watching it, I watch like an episode every couple days when I can, because they're hours. But yeah, here it is. Thank you, Talons of Wang Chang. Thank you so much. I got all the seasons. Yeah, and it is dope. Avon is definitely the best character, like by far. I didn't even know, like, the main character leaves the show. The main character bails out in the show. What is that dog here? Great. I said this last time, but this is the last day of my mic. I've got a whole sound system I'm gonna hook up. We were supposed to be hitting the road to go look for places to go talk about places to stay, and I just don't think that can happen right now. I don't think it's probably wise to go. We were going to go down to San Diego. It's just like, So we might push that off, and I might go journey out of state. We'll see how things go. Again, not to get too real world on you, but I guess we're going to find out. And I mean this in all seriousness. We're going to find out how bad the beer bug is, and it should be any day now. It should be, according to Google. Again, this is not scientific. This is Google. It takes 5 to 6 days, and then 14 days, up to 14 days. So 5 to 6 days for symptoms, and then 14 days. So Alex the Collector for £4.99 sent you an email about the Expanse actress IG post. I'm pretty annoyed to the point that I'm switching off and reading books and comics. Hail to you. Yeah, I don't follow actors, and unless it's somebody I really, really like, because of that reason. Now, there is, hey, I'm seeing a bunch of stuff, and I try actually, to be fair. So you're watching this constant stream, and it's upsetting. So if an actor pops off like once in a great while, it's like, If it's the constant thing. It's the constant thing, because we get hit so much with, you're just constantly negative. We talk about stuff we like all the time. All the time. That's complete BS. And you go to my Twitter feed with all the crap I've been accused of. Go to my Facebook, go to my Twitter, go to my Instagram. How many times have I even come close to being political, other than talking about the situation here? And again, I'm trying to come in with common sense. I am just concerned about innocent people. That's it. The cause, again, you could support the cause, which I do, and I think, but again, supporting the cause, I think, is pretty common sense at this point too. I don't know how, and listen, I know there's other details, doesn't matter. Forgery charge, that kind of response for a forgery charge was
Landing gear deployed.
I promise you, whoever cares the most, I care at least as much as them. I know what I did, because I lost it all. I gotta tell you something. I don't talk about it all. You ever worked all your life for something and have it not work out? That happened to me. It was tough. Think about it. I was gone for 12 years. It's not a little bit of time. It was hell. I watched other niggas that I knew become very famous. I watched the world go on without me. I mourned the loss of it, and after a while, I didn't care. Coming back was terrifying. I understand what I am.
Landing coupler disengaged. Climb to exit altitude.
When they write about me in history, I'll be dead reading it like, yeah, I know they say that. They said that a person can't dream of your face. Never seen it. Can't believe that's true. It was probably true. Boy, I got a long bank of faces. 32 years, I can close my eyes. I can think of any night. There's so many faces. Every night, most nights, they're all looking up, smiling.
You are clear to resume
No idea what the
navigation.
world looks
Stay
like.
safe, Commander.
All different races, all different colors, all different kind of beliefs, just looking at me smiling for 32 years, night after night.
Even a B celebrity, you will live a pretty pampered life.
Frameshift drive charging.
Destiny Captain. Okay, so with Patreon will forward me sometimes emails to my main email. The one place to contact me at all times is Gary@nerdrotic.com. The email, the DMs on everything else are very hit and miss. So I try to curate it through my email. I haven't seen it through the email yet, Destiny Captain, but thank you for the $1.99. I will get back to you as soon as I can. As soon as I can. But thank you. 52 movies a year for $4.99. Hashtag let script doctor write MOS2 or Man of Steel 2. Let script doctor write Man of Steel 2. We'll tell him, well, I don't know. I'd tell him to write it, but unless he could sell the script, unless he could actually sell the script, he would probably be wasting. What Mrs. Nerdrotic always asks me, and then I ask myself, is this the best use of my time? Is this the best use of my time? I largely believe fan films and creating fan fiction, for the most part, are probably not the best use of your time. You only have so much creative in you, and maybe you should try to use it on your own stuff, because that could lead to something. That could lead to you working. The chances of you getting a job at Hollywood writing fan fiction or writing something for somebody else's property are slim to none. The chances of you writing your own original script are better. I'm not going to say they're great, but they're better. 13th Warrior for $5. The right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. The First Amendment. Absolutely. Peaceably. Peaceably. Peaceably is the highlighted word there. I agree. I agree with that. And, it should continue until... the fact of the matter is, though, it will change come out of this because of the violence. That's a big fat I don't know. That is for bigger brains than me. Mark C for $5. I wish I could make a statement about white privilege from a $6.5 million home. I think a lot of people do. I think a lot of people of all makes, shapes, and sizes wish they could make some statement, some vague statement from the lap of luxury. But they don't see it that way. I will translate you that statement, and I know you all know what it means. Please don't come and burn down my $6.5 million house. Chronix for $5. This has got me so pissed off at these overly virtuous companies that I've finally committed to retro games, old-fashioned movies. The past is my future. Yep. At this point, I don't have the power to call a boycott, but I will tell you what I am going to do. I am not going to support Bad Robot in anything until I hear them also denounce the violence. Part of their statement was fine, absolutely fine. But that omission of denouncing the violence was only omitted out of cowardice because they were afraid they would get some blowback from the morons on Twitter who cannot hold two arguments in their head at the same time, or more importantly, because I don't believe all people are morons. I think we will use the word disingenuous. The disingenuous people out there who will manipulate the situation, to exacerbate the situation, and give them backlash and blowback. Because I had a conversation about this. I thought about it. I did. I'm like, well, is there a reason? Is there a logical reason they left that out? That's something I will always try to consider. And Mrs. Nerdrotic and I talked about it. She said, well, it could be taken as, if you're denouncing violence, you're calling all of them violent. Well, no, I would not assume that. See, I am not going to assume that the people who truly want justice for George Floyd are all committing violence. Some might be, sure. But I saw peaceful protesters. I did. I saw a lot of good things within the complete chaos. There was some good moments. The cop taking the knee with all those people in LA, and people calling out, and please continue to do that, because then you are absolutely the good guy and gal out there when you were calling out the violence while you're protesting, doing your best to keep that from happening, and every little good deed helps, believe me. So thank you for that. Thank you. Or maybe just simply following up your statement, pointing out something like that. How can anybody perceive that as being bad?
Contact, clear to disembark.
But no, they leave it out because they're cowards and they don't really give a crap. Please keep buying our stuff, and please don't burn down Hollywood. I mean, like, I really was tempted, like you all were, to point out some places where you could go. Because honestly, ripping up small businesses isn't going to win anyone any friends at all. If you are a somewhat mature adult at all. And the saddest thing is, these are kids. These are kids. A lot of kids out there being manipulated by adults. And some of those kids, their lives are going to be ruined forever for feeding in to the negativity, which was not what the protest was supposed to be about, and still isn't about. And again, it hasn't changed my mind of the situation at all. The obvious thing is, it's going to just turn a lot of people off to it, and they're not going to want to think about it. And plus, they're not going to have time to think about it. Like I said, conversations can't happen when people are too uncomfortable, when they're in fear for their lives, their livelihood, their shelter. People talk about, it's just stuff. No, your shelter is extremely important in society. Go ask any homeless person. Anybody has, as London Breed calls it, experiencing homelessness. It's pretty damn important. And when people are just worried about that, they're not going to be too concerned about a cause. So, and that's the unfortunate thing about it. This is, okay, so thank you, Acronix, for the $5. I appreciate all of you. And again, You can think both in your head. And Eric July has been saying this from the get-go. Okay. And I put it in my tweet.
Frameshift drive charging.
Integrate virtual production into the classroom. That's viewable. A variety of packs, including presentation packs, some content packs including broadcast studios, static meshes, skeleton meshes, effects packs, and some of my favorites, including the Super Grid and the Advanced Locomotion System. These are amazing products, but also can be super valuable in the suite of work stuff.
Under attack.
Things to help.
Thermal attack. Gaining heat. Shields offline. Taking damage. Warning. Hull breach attack. Taking internal damage. Hull integrity critical. Eject. Eject. Eject.
Broadcast, but really importantly is the entire suite of Paragon characters and environments. This is also an incredibly valuable learning resource because each character inside of Paragon was beautifully created with amazing materials, stunning animations, effects, and audio work. And all of this content can be used even to ship games inside of Unreal Engine. Make sure you check out this content, learn from it, use it in classrooms, to teach and to learn. Hello and welcome to this week's stream. We're really excited to have our special guest today, Matt Workman. And today we're going to be talking about virtual production in the classroom. So we've been looking forward to this stream, and as usual we have Tom Shannon with us this week, and we also have Mark Flanagan.
Hello.
And up in the corner, shrouded in green, is our friend Matt Workman.
How's it going?
So we're really excited about this stream. I think that virtual production has been an exciting topic that a lot of people have been asking us about at Epic, specifically in context about building curriculum around virtual production, what it is, and basically how to understand what it is. And I think one of the things that we've been excited about is going to the work that Matt's been doing on YouTube, going to the work that Matt's been doing on the Facebook groups, and really sort of following the journey that a lot of people have been doing in virtual production. Hopefully many of you are aware that we have virtual production page on unrealengine.com that shares a lot of really valuable resources that can be really helpful. But I think that one of the things that's really helpful, and one of the things that we've been excited about, is that we've been working with Matt, and you presented at SIGGRAPH, and you presented at a variety of different events, and you did some really cool things with us at previous events. where you presented, material that you've been sort of building from the ground up, because there's, many big companies that are making amazing films like The Mandalorian, and they approach it, I think, from the top down. But one of the cool things is that you've been sharing your experience in many ways from the bottom up, which I think helps educate students understand they can also get that
Clear the landing pad. Regulate speed until outside the exclusion zone.
Great, yeah, thanks for the intro. Thanks for having me on the stream. So yeah, my name is Matt Workman, and for about 10 years I was a live action cinematographer. So filming with real cameras and lights, shot a lot of commercials and music videos, but ended up working on very big VFX projects. A lot of previs and 3D was happening. And as a DP, I wanted to be able to, communicate in that space. So I started to learn Maya and build my own previs tools, kind of based on like what the third floor had been showing in different previs companies. And after that, I decided to make those 3D tools that were designed for filmmakers available to other people. Started a company around it called Cinematography Database. And within the last 2 years, it brought, all my experience being on set and then in software to Unreal Engine. And that's turned into Cinetracer, and it's turned recently into an effort to make indie virtual production known to the world and kind of show how that works and what it looks like.
So you've been at this for a while, right? Because, go back to what you mentioned, Cinetracers is a tool, for those of you who are not familiar, Matt makes a tool called Cinetracer, which is not dissimilar from it's a runtime tool that you can get currently on Steam. It's an amazing tool. If you are not familiar with it, go get it. It's really amazing. And you jump into it and you have full access to camera control. It's very easy to use. You have all the tools, you have dolly tools and truck tools, and you can tell us more about it as well. But you get to basically do pre-visualization inside of this real-time tool, where you get full access to sets and lights, and all of it is tuned to real-world cinematography standards and real-world production standards. But you kind of also built this tool a long time ago, but you built it in Cinema 4D, right? Because 5-10 years ago, when you were doing this work, you realized that there was a need for a tool like this before you even got into Unreal Engine, right? I mean, give us a little bit of background about that. Because you saw a need and you filled a need.
Yeah, so it started off as a need for just me as a cinematographer, working with the mill specifically. And I wanted to do motion control, which is where you have a robot move the camera. It's so what's the move gonna look like? So that's primarily done in Maya. So at first I just learned Maya and Python and Mel and dependency graph programming and 3D modeling and rigging in Maya, so that I could work with big VFX companies. That was where it started. That got a lot of attention, just that alone, and that was kind of private too. That was not I wasn't blasting that super hard back then. But it got around, and it seemed hey, a lot of people want to do this. It would be great to be able to bring this to other DPs, specifically at the time. And so I moved that into Cinema 4D, because I thought Cinema 4D at the time, 5 years ago-ish, was the easiest to teach, because I knew I'd have to teach filmmakers how to use X program, right? So I'm making plugins for programs. So I thought Cinema 4D would be easy to teach. And I think it is. I think it's still one of the easiest to learn, best UI and very simple. I like it for 3D stuff. So I made Cine Designer, which was essentially porting everything from Maya into Cinema 4D, and Cinema 4D has Espresso, which is a visual programming language just like Blueprints, which is why it was so easy to go for me to go from Espresso to Blueprints was super easy, and for filmmakers it's very similar to working with Nodes and Resolve. So if you're used to like putting together power windows, doing color corrections with nodes in Resolve, Unreal Engine is just that, except you're making real-time graphics decisions or logic and whatnot. But it's, my coding is mostly visual scripting. So, for a filmmaker looking to get into it, if you're already kicking ass with Resolve, I think blueprints and Unreal Engine, and not everyone knows this, is like you don't have to type. A lot of it is visual. So that was the first step, was Maya to Cinema 4D, and that became a pretty big product. A lot of DPs are using that still. And then we made the switch to Unreal Engine, which was the most fun. That's been the most fun so far.
So you went from working inside of Cinema 4D, and then you discovered Unreal Engine, I guess, and you were like, well, why not just rebuild it in the tool? And I guess part of that is because Unreal Engine was much more real-time, right? So there was a value in bringing all that stuff to a much more real-time environment. You could move things around much faster.
Yeah, it gets rid of the rendering paradigm. In a 3D application, you're typically like looking at like kind of a simple, not so good looking preview. You hit render, and X amount of minutes to hours later, you kind of see what's happening. And the hope with Unreal Engine was that like we're just rendering the whole time, and you just see it because it's a video game. And I became aware because of the GDC Star Wars demo, where it's like, oh, real-time ray tracing is coming. So that was a huge motivator for me to get Cinetracer up and running for when that would become available. And I'm happy to say I was ready for it. Like we had like a pretty decent sized community, and like alpha and then beta. And when Unreal Engine 4.22, I believe, was the first RTX release, I updated immediately, bought a 2080 Ti, and we were ray tracing. So I kind of was rushing towards this like real-time ray tracing revolution that was happening. And for like the gaming community, I think it's still slow and steady to get there, right? Where people can afford that hardware, but for like what we call like the pro visualization community, architects and previs for film, it's like we'll jump right into the highest end hardware if it's going to get us better results, so we can shoot the jobs better and plan better. So like really the film industry was like a great candidate for being able to jump into like real-time ray tracing, and that's one of the main reasons I did Unreal Engine. I was like, I really want to see what that looks like, and let people try it.
Yeah, so you had to learn, you had to learn Blueprint and build this tool in Blueprint because you have a programming background. I mean, is your background as a scientist, or your background's a filmmaker? So how did that go? What was that like?
I have a mixed background, so I did actually start in computer science. So I knew Java and C++ a little bit, but it's not my strength, and I ultimately left it. I don't really enjoy coding. I don't have to. So yeah, I've very much relied on Blueprint scripting and just YouTube. If I had to describe how I learned Unreal Engine, it was by going on YouTube, following Blueprint's tutorials until I could do everything I wanted. And I think, fortunately for me, I had a goal. And I think that makes learning something very structured. I was like, I need to make this camera move. How do I do that? I need to make this light get brighter when I move a slider. How do you make a slider? So it was like, I had some very specific goals of basically recreating Cine Designer, my Cinema 4D product, in Unreal Engine. So it was a very structured, like, pretty straightforward march of just learning it. And I learned all of it from YouTube and docs, Unreal Engine documentation, and then the community around it.
So you already had kind of base in Cinema 4D, had a structure for everything. You just had to take that, bring it into the Blueprint. And so all of Cinetracer is made in Blueprints?
Yeah, there's like one Blueprint function library that's C++, but I regret terribly. I wish it didn't exist. Just from like, switching between engine versions, if you're all Blueprints, it's nothing. It's really not difficult. It's when you start modding the engine in C that you can run into just things changed, and so now you have to do them. It's not impossible, but it's a friction point, and it's kind of like, do I really want to? So I'm actually hoping, I think we were talking about it, that my C++ is only really to do file I/O. Like if I need to move a file around, that's not typically what games need to do, and if they do, it's you can custom do that. So as soon as It might exist in 4.25, I haven't looked into it, but once I can just move files around and make a new folder in Blueprints, I'll just completely get rid of C++, and every time I upgrade, even to like UE5, potentially, it's pretty straightforward. You do C++, you start to, you're going to be coding for a little bit.
That's pretty incredible because the application, it runs really well. Looks, it's fairly complex. Pretty, or I usually call it something like cinematography the game or filmmaking the game, because it's really when you're doing it, it feels like a video game. It feels very kind of game-ish. So it's wild that something that kind of complex with
Unreal Engine. And this is basically how I think about and understand virtual production. Again, I have my blind spots. I also, as a disclaimer, come from the production side of the world. So if you're a VFX supervisor, you may see things a bit differently. This is very much the point of view from someone who is a director at DP, like kind of how I think it needs to be structured for them to understand. Okay, so this is what we're going to be going through. Can you see my mouse by any chance? Is that visible or no?
I don't see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, cool. So I might be moving
Oh, yeah,
around.
I see it.
Great. Yeah, it's probably not the best, but moving
okay.
around. So this is what we're going to go through 4 steps here. The first one is, what are the 3 types of virtual production? This is a simplification. There's much more, but this is a good way to kind of segment it. Number 2, hardware and software. What do you need? What's recommended? What works? What doesn't? Again, from my understanding of things. Number 3 is a step-by-step, like what's a good teaching progression or learning? Like if you want to learn this, like where do I start? Where do I go, right? And number 4 is resources. So that's what we're going to be going through here. So 3 types of virtual production. Which one do you want to teach? Which one do you want to learn yourself? I basically break it down at the moment as all CG or in-engine, right? Or mixed reality or LED volume. Okay, so those are like kind of the main 3 that I'm interested in, that I hear a lot about, and that most people fit somewhere into those categories broadly. Of course, there's much nuance to all of this, but if we want to simplify, that's how we do it. All in engine, you'll see as a computer. It's very much an animation workflow. 3D animation with a little bit of spice in it, a little bit of, handheld, a little bit of mocap, a little bit of real world stuff going on, but it's primarily 3D. Mixed reality LED volume, that's a film set. This is film production. While there is visual effects, there is real time happening, this is a film set. So if you're a teacher or you're a student, I imagine you tend to pull to one of these more than the other. Like, do you have cameras in your classroom? Are you interested in working with a real camera? That puts you over here much faster than it will in the engine side of it. Maybe you don't really care about real cameras or real lights. Probably are not necessarily, you may not be pulled into mixed reality and LED volume, right? So I just want to make that's like a big distinction up front. They are all virtual production. So that's something we want to keep in mind. So the first one is all CG in engine. So we can call this VR filmmaking, is a very common way to think about it at a consumer level. So it's basically 3D animation, but with some real world input, like a handheld camera, which I'll be showing, and mocap, which is like real humans moving. So a high-end example of this is the Lion King remake, primarily enabled by Magnopus. They did a lot of the hardware interfacing to allow real-world filmmaker Caleb Deschanel, the DP, and Rob Legato to shoot Lion King like it was a real live-action film, but it's all CG. Right? So this is an all CG, all-in-engine execution VR filmmaking. And this is not a not safe for work YouTube channel, but I just have to shout him out, Josh Dubb, who uses VR chat and consumer VR games to make machinima content. His is the most interesting I've seen in a long time. Not safe for work, don't watch this in your classroom, but it's I think an excellent example of all CG, all VR filmmaking. So this is like a big category more on the 3D side of it. Recent to the squad, the virtual production squad, is Corridor Digital. They recently tweeted, virtual production has blown our minds and hopefully yours with the limitless possibilities it offers. Here's how we made our first project happen from start to finish in Unreal Engine. So that's pretty awesome, very recent. So Sam from Corridor Digital, we've spoken a lot. This is virtual Sam here. You can see my mouse. we've been talking a lot about this process and continue to evolve our own personal takes on virtual production. Everyone does it differently. But seeing what's in common, how we can help each other. He's a filmmaker, a YouTuber, VFX artist, now working in Unreal Engine using Xsense mocap suits. I'll play just a little bit of this. There should not be audio, hopefully. And so this is them remaking an episode of their very well-known VFX artist react to XEG, so like huge YouTube series. Had people from Wedded Digital and ILM have come on to watch it. So they scanned themselves. They use Xsense mocap suits. They're using the iPhone, I believe, for face mocap. And so these are YouTubers, right? Executing at this level. This is an all engine, all made in Unreal Engine completely. And so go check this out if you haven't seen it. It's pretty awesome. And there's a behind the scenes of it as well. Next, we move into mixed reality. This is a picture of my basement a month ago. It's a lot different now. This is my wife, Diana. Shout out. So we have a Blackmagic camera. We've got a Vive tracker, a green screen, and I can see in my little monitor here the live composite. And as I move my camera, the real world, the CG world reacts accordingly, and you really have this illusion of being in that space from a camera operator point of view, which is from a lighting point of view. I can then light the backgrounds in CG, and I can light the foreground in real life and match them and see them, and it becomes a much more live process than separating out. I just shoot green and I see this bottom screen and I have no idea what's going on. I see what's happening and I can move the camera freely however I want to. And this is just a pretty affordable Blackmagic camera, which we'll talk more about, and a Vive. That's it. The only hardware. Stock Unreal Engine. Nothing special as far as extra expensive plugins. It's just stock Unreal. And so I cover this on YouTube. Not how to do it yet. I'll be doing that, but showing that it is possible. So this is very commonly referred to as a virtual set. If they've been doing it in broadcast for a long time, it's a lot more advanced now, though. You can move the cameras. A whole bunch of augmented reality stuff is happening. And you'll also see this in virtual concerts, which you're going to see a lot of virtual concerts in 2020.